assim de semana.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video by your favorite trader, Matt Corvo, the best, the greatest of all time, Robbins Cup trading champion, multi-millionaire, hedge fund manager, genius IQ, speak multiple languages, proud owner of a gigantic, luxurious medieval castle, and of a fleet of supercars. It's coming one day, my friends. Alrighty, we are Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. And for those who don't know me, my name is Matt, 26 years old, from Montreal, Canada. I trade ES on the futures market, and I trade order flow and volume analysis. I look at volume profile levels, footprint charts, and a heat map, and I'm currently trying to improve my order flow. And those videos are basically me journaling my trades, but I figured I might just post those videos on YouTube. Alright, so let's get into it, shall we? So I just want to take you to TradeZilla, which is the journaling software I use. As you see, my results are still very mitigated. I'm winning, I'm losing, I'm winning, I'm losing. I'm not taking stupid trades. My trades make sense. It is somehow not playing out. And I'm here to improve. I'm here to make it one day. I have big dreams and aspirations. As a matter of fact, I despise the word dream. I'd rather use the word goals. What I have are goals, not dreams. Goals with a clear game plan, with steps. What can I do today to achieve that goal? You know, what do I need to do today? What do I need to do tomorrow? What do I need to do this week? What do I need to do for this month? What do I need to do these quarters? What do I need to do these years so that in 10-15 years, that goal is realistic to accomplish? That's the difference between having a dream and a goal. So that's being a real fucking killer, not just a fucking dreamer. So let me take you to today. We're going to click on Notebook. We're going to click on today's date, Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. And as always, this is my pre-market game plan, which is 30 minutes that I take before my session. Basically just getting ready and in the right state of mind, by not having any surprises, looking at if we're going to have economic events. I also identify the market conditions. I identify the directional bias for the day, and I also identify key levels for the session I want to play from. For example, from that level, I'm looking for shorts. From that level, I'm looking for longs. So basically, ES today was in a compressed condition. Very simple. It's clearly not trending. Now, if you look here at the daily, I said we're still bearish. I mean, we're still bearish for as long as we break this higher high here. We're still bearish. Until we break this higher high here, we're still bearish because price could just reverse at any time and just give a pullback. Very simple. And this is what's a little bit complicated about market structure. I have very mixed feelings about it. The moment we break this, okay, we are confirmed bullish, but what do you expect after a break of structure to the upside? You're expecting a pullback, right? So maybe you say, oh, finally, we are confirmed bullish on the daily. Well, that's kind of irrelevant because right after you're expecting a pullback, like here, you break it, the pullback happened a couple hundred points after. So this is exactly what I'm saying here. I don't like to try to guess what the market structure is. Stop guessing, start reacting. However, I said it does look like it's going up. If you just start looking from here, it looks like it's going up. If you start looking from here, it looks like it's going down. If you start looking from here, it looks like it's going up. It can be a little bit confusing. So now I went on the 4 hour. And this is exactly what I'm saying. When it comes to market structure, yes, it's important to have a bias, but also know until when. Let me tell you why. For example, I'm bullish. I am bullish here until we take out those two previous daily highs. And you're going to see what happened today. I was actually wrong. But until we take those two previous daily highs, I am bullish until that point. And after we take them out, I'm expecting a small pullback. And my bias is going to turn bearish. But until when? Until when is it going to turn bearish? The answer is at least until we reach that low. This is when I'm going to switch my bias to we are bearish. and now we're going to be bullish. But still, maybe you could just drag your swing from here to here and say at least, yeah, I don't know, you look at value levels. So when it comes to market structure, you identify directional bias, but you constantly have to keep on your mind until where in price. Let's continue. So I said M15 looking bullish too, but I said it could reverse at any time. It doesn't have to take out those previous daily highs before giving a pullback. I was absolutely right for today. Nor does it have to reverse immediately after taking out those previous daily highs. So what I'm saying is it could maybe take him out, but I've seen multiple times in the market where it can keep going further and further and further and decide to reverse like somewhere in a random place. So it doesn't have to take out those previous daily highs right now. And even if it does take him out right now, it doesn't have to reverse immediately. So that comes after you have a lot of experience like me trading the market. You start noticing these things. You know, all reversal after a previous daily high. Yes, but no. No, but yes. It's very nuanced. There's no such thing in trading as always, absolutely has to. No such thing in trading as that. Okay, so today I said we have the opposite of yesterday. If you want to look here really quickly, let me just show you. It was quite the opposite. It was quite the opposite. Let's come here. Or maybe it was similar. I said price is maintaining itself strongly above the previous day value area high. As you can see here, it gave a bounce, a really nice break and retest, which is a bullish indication, but price is failing to break through the overnight volume profile value area high. It's failing to break through it. Nice observation here. I pointed that both volume profile levels had a P shape. That indicates a bullish indication. But again, I said I have to be careful not to marry my bias, and I have to be quick to adapt. And I said maybe that's the top. It could reverse right now, take out these lows here, and then go for the previous daily highs above. I said anything can happen. And really, when I thought I had seen everything in trading, I realized I have not. So really, don't marry your bias and be ready for anything. The markets are random and chaotic to a certain point. Alrighty, so this morning I was a little bit thrown off because I like to use footprint imbalances as support and resistance zone, but today, quite surprisingly, the closest imbalance I had was really far away. Price was somewhere in the 90s, and the imbalance I had, the closest one, was in the 50s. So just nothing I could play from for today. That's what I said. It's really far away, 40 points lower for me to even consider a long. Okay, so let's move further here. So I like to create scenarios. I said the VPs are interesting. I said the previous day value area high is lining up perfectly with the overnight volume profile value area low. So here I'm definitely expecting a reaction, which I was right, but not a reaction I could enter off from. I said basically when price reaches this area, I'm going to look for a buy to then target London's high here and the previous daily highs. Because remember, I was bullish from looking at this structure here. Now, I even had this other scenario because I always like to create two scenarios at least. I said, we're going to come to this level and it might just be a reaction for a pullback. It pulls back and then it comes lower to the previous day point of control reaction, and then it just keeps getting lower and lower to my imbalance that was in the 50s. And what I like is when my levels on the volume profile, they line up with resting liquidity levels on Bookmap. So here, right at this level in the 68, 80s, where I had my volume profile levels, I had about 180 buy limit orders sitting right here. And those levels, they act as magnets for price because price is always seeking liquidity. All right, so these were my live trading notes where I'm basically taking screenshots of what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, what's going through my mind, what I am observing. Okay, and right at cash open, it was a crazy dump. Sometimes it likes to consolidate a little bit, but today it was really a big dump. And my levels got busted. So I was a little bit confused after it did this huge imbalance here, huge imbalance, right where my level got busted. So I was like, maybe it's going to do a break and retest. Maybe it's just going to do a break and retest, come here, come back, and then continue selling. Or it could just start reversing, but way lower. It's a little bit hard to tell. I said this imbalance, maybe it's going to get filled, or maybe it's going to reject price. Again, a little bit difficult to tell. And then here on Bookmap, right at this level in the 68.80s, right where you had the big imbalance, it was lining up with this level that was added on Bookmap with 2,565 sell limit orders sitting on the ask, on the offer. Well, I noticed the order flow guys, they just say, oh, we have 2,500 offers, blah, blah, blah. And then they would say, we have, let's say, 2,000 bids. So instead of saying sell limit orders or buy limit orders, they just say offers and bids. But those levels are tricky because sometimes they're used as spoofing. They scare price away. Sometimes they really act as a magnet. So it's very nuanced, like I say. And I want to show you what really happened afterwards. So this is what happened. So we were here. You see the big imbalance. Price came to fill it up, and then it reversed from here. Of course, I was somehow right that those were my levels that I showed you, previous day value, area high, etc. It did give a big reaction. I mean, if you want to compare it to here, I was kind of right. It came here, gave a big reaction, reversed here, as you can see. It reversed here, and then it came lower. At previous day point of control, price was just really choppy today. I mean, of course, it gave a reaction here. It gave a reaction for how long? About 15 minutes. Price had a hard time breaking through. It broke through, came back again, took the liquidity here, took the liquidity here. I got in a sell here, but it was just because Marshall and Chris from the Diamond Trading Institution, Lambo Rose, Orderflow Group, they took that trade. They were talking about the deltas. Price could not punch through, so they just entered here. They caught this, but could have been a much bigger trade. And then price reacted off buy limit orders or bids here at 68.80. And then here, I guess there was another level here at the 55s. And then price reversed and it reacted here. Maybe you could argue because of the pointer control, but also because you had 585 sell limits. You have a 585 sell limits or offers sitting on the ask at 68.72. Here you could argue it took out this low and gave another reversal, took out this high here. So this here perhaps at 11.50 would have been a nice trade. In all, just very choppy day. You know, people say usually Mondays and Fridays are very choppy. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are very directional, very explosive. But again, that is nuanced. It's not going to happen like that all the time. Not even 80% of the time. Like this week, Monday was super directional, was very explosive. And then Tuesday and today, very choppy. Very, very choppy. But even when it's choppy, it doesn't mean you cannot catch a 3R, you know, or a 5R. Guarantee you. You know, here, if I had kept my trade and held it, this would have been a nice 5R, you know. But it would have sucked, let me tell you that, to hold that trade until here. It would have gone into a massive, massive pullback. Reaching here, you're not even sure it's going to keep selling or just come back, right? So basically for today, as always, I would just like to study the reversal on the footprints. So basically, I would like to study this point here at 10.05. I would like to study also what happened here at 11.50. And that's pretty much it. I like to study those too. So this is where price gave reversals today. And perhaps here too, we could maybe study what happened here at 940. All right. But here I really have to figure out how the guys entered here. They looked at the deltas, which I don't look at. I mean, of course I look at the deltas on candles, but at price levels. Now I found out that Marshall, one of the best traders in the Diamond Trading institution, one of the mentors, he has a YouTube channel called Bids and Offers, which is this one. Small YouTube channel, but still is pretty cool. I fucking hate those thumbnails. They look horrible, but they look like they're from the fucking 90s. Just too much going on, too colorful, just too much information. It's too much. But yeah, I have a lot to learn here. It's going to be super interesting. That guy, he knows how to trade. Oh, right. So this is Chris. Okay, he has a YouTube channel. I'm going to follow him. So Chris is a very good student in Laboral's mentorship. And my God, he's 23. Fuck that. He's younger than me. And he had his biggest week so far. 30K in a week. 30K. I'm going to watch his videos for sure. Let me drag the footprint chart here and let's get going, guys. All right, so I want to start here when it was 9:39. I like to let price settle down after cash open for at least 15 minutes, so from 9:30 to 9:45. But still, let's just see. Let's just have a look here. Just for the sake of our studies. So here we are. If you can see here, here is here. And let's just study what the footprints were telling us. Now what I'm noticing, it's always easy to go study specific places on footprint where it gave a reversal and is giving most of the time very similar setups. There are places where it gives similar information, but it didn't give a reversal. So again, you got to be perspicacious and pay attention to that. But just for the sake of this, I just want to study what happened. Because if every day you study reversal points on the prints and look at what happened on the deltas and volume wise, you can somehow, when you see it happening in real life, in front of your eyes, developing in real time at your levels, your eyes are trained and you know what to look for, and it can give you a hint. It can give you more confidence into executing your trade. Here, as you can see, we have very positive numbers. The max delta going from 495 to 377. Those are very good digits. What do you see here that's a little bit odd? You have a big wick to the upside indicating sell pressure. And you have trap sellers, but me, when I'm looking for a short, I like to see trap buyers. Now let's come here. Now you see those numbers are really, really diminishing. It goes from 215 max delta to 39. Very big difference from those two numbers. And it leaves trap sellers, but also trap buyers here. I like those trap buyers here. And this candle has big wicks, so you still don't know what's going to happen. And you want to see if the buyers are going to have a follow through, if their efforts are going to be rewarded. Now you come here and you see, and they were already losing some steam. Now you come here and you see this candle super negative, okay, minus 656 to minus 576. The sellers, the aggressive sellers are really present. And now you want to see if they are going to have follow through. And now you see this candle here. I like it very much. Trap buyers here, 103. But still, you can tell by looking at those numbers on the delta that it's not going to crash right after, because it goes from minus 138 to 15. So the passive buyers are still a little bit present here, getting orders filled. Now this candle here is super interesting. Really big aggressive buyers showing up, filling up their orders, but they're really being stopped by passive sellers because, first of all, it's red. So this was probably the open of the candle, and it went lower. So that's why it's red. And it basically went nowhere. With all those strong numbers, it didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere, okay? So here perhaps could have been your entry. Could have entered here at this level with the 103. Now this level is super, super interesting. If you look here, the buyers are really trying to push it down. You crazy numbers here, but they're getting zero follow through. The passive sellers are so strong, absorbing everything. It's just going down and down and down, and they're forced to close their orders. They're forced to liquidate. So really, this was all very good news. You see this, the fact that you have crazy aggressive buying, yet it goes down and it leaves a big wick to the upside, trap buyers. It's really indicating that it's going to dump after. And this is exactly what it did here. So really you could have entered at this candle. This could have been your entry. So let's put it at 88.75. And what could you have targeted? Maybe the previous day point of control. So this would have been a 3.8 Rs, okay, not the end of the world. Now let's look here. I want to study what happened at 10:04. So guys, I'm not going to lie, reversals are complicated. This whole area was a mess. Me, I was looking for a long here. If you remember, I was looking for a long, but when I saw this huge imbalance here, I got scared. I wouldn't say I got scared, but I was very reluctant. I knew this thing could push it down, and I was right. Now you see the very strong buyers again coming here with this huge level, filled all of the orders in the imbalance, gave a small retracement, now came again. It was really a tug of war here to see who would really push price. So very, very strong numbers here. No follow through whatsoever. Now here you can see trap sellers indicating, and a wick to the upside indicating sell pressure. The final delta is about half of the max delta. It's indicating something. Now you look at this one, it's really diminishing. It goes from 161 to 89. Okay, the buyers are running out of steam. Now if you look at this one, truly the aggressive sellers are showing up, but still, if you look at the min delta versus the final delta, minus 147, there's quite a difference between both. Now you look at this one, okay, things are starting to improve. There's almost no difference between minus 233 and between minus 233 and minus 228. And really here you could have started selling, which is exactly where I got. I don't know how those guys entered here, but yeah. During this candle you could have entered, let's say. But really it was giving those kind of signals everywhere. Well, not really here. Like the same thing here, following my logic, I would have sold here. I would have sold here and I would have gotten taken out. Yeah. Following the same logic of what I'm saying here, I would have gotten taken out. So I really have to improve my trading. This is what I'm noticing. Okay, so we did this one here. And now let's come and see this one, 1148. So very basically, you could have looked for a reversal once we took out this low here. That's the only reason. Look for just a reversal after taking out this high. Could have targeted maybe this high, I don't know. It's easy to say in hindsight. Look, you just target this one. Okay? So let's see here at 1150, which is here. Very, very negative candles, very normal. Now you see here, it's starting to change. And even here, if you compare those two candles, this one has 5,200 of volume, and this one has 4,400. But which one is bigger? So the one with more volume is smaller because the aggressive sellers are starting to get absorbed by the passive buyer. Now, if you look at this one, the numbers are completely changing. You see here minus 472, minus 361. Now the aggressive buyers are really showing up. They're taking this whole thing. They took this whole thing from minus 228 to 352. Okay, but here I would have liked trap sellers, not trap buyers. And boom, very strong numbers again. Could have entered somewhere here, but as always, it does a first impulse and then it likes to retrace a little bit. So maybe you could have entered somewhere around, I don't know. You come again, you want to see if the buyers are going to be able to defend this number here. So you put your entry right at 68.57. 68.57, let's put it here. And what do you target? Target this level. Stop loss under the low. That would have been a nice 3 Rs. So overall, very choppy day. This really sucks. Really compressed. And yeah, kind of sucked. So let's come here to TradeZilla and just complete my post-market analysis. How did it go on 10? I give it a 7. 1 TP, but it wasn't my trade. I took the same trade as the group, and I don't understand it fully. Was I right about my pre-market directional bias? I don't even remember what it was. So I was bullish. If you look here on the 15 minutes, I was clearly bullish here. But then on the 4 hours, I was bullish until we were taking out those highs. If you were asking me, we're so close to the previous daily highs, is there a higher probability of hitting those previous daily highs or just reversing out of nowhere and then going to take them out after? I said, yeah, but this is not what happened. The lower probability thing happened. It just reversed because of the volume profiles here. It was clearly stuck and it reversed. And perhaps we're going to go hit them tonight or something like that, or tomorrow. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was bullish, but it sold. And now it's coming back up. So when price was here, truthfully, I was bullish. I was still bullish. But, you know, you have to pay attention to what's going on here. And then it sold, and now it's coming back up. And who knows, maybe it's going to keep going down and keep consolidating, or it's going to hit that previous daily high here. So what lesson can I take of this session? The higher probability setup doesn't have to happen at all. I can also say what? What did I learn? I need to trade like the guys in the group. And most important lesson I can take out of this session, it's not really related to this session, but I learned that Chris had his first 30K week. 30K week, that's crazy. If that guy can do it, I certainly can. If that guy can do it, I certainly can. So didn't force any trade. Max loss, max loss. Yeah. So overall, I don't want to say exactly how many trades I missed, but it sucked. Yeah, just a choppy day. Oh, they say midweek is super explosive and directional. Dude, not always. Not always, okay? That's something you're going to learn in trading. Not always. All right, guys, so that was the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and we were Wednesday, November 12th. And yeah, guys, I hope you got some value from this. Peace out.